Advantage and disadvantage in Python. Okay, most of the companies prefer Python. Why? We'll see. Okay, before that, what are the things we can do with the Python? What are the main things? Okay, we'll see some example. Google search. A second. Here we are seeing Python used application. Okay, Python used in many places like web application, Python used in development, web development, and like a web development or a desktop development, uh, internet or networking, and computing program. Like computing program in sense comes under machine learning, uh, deep learning. This comes part of artificial intelligence or data science. So we can use Python. Okay, in various places, even many ERP tools, we can use Python for ERP. Okay, so if you see in the Python site, okay, so for web application, we didn't know that previously, because if you are browsing YouTube or Dropbox, Google, all they are using Python in their backend or front end. Okay, Instagram, everyone using Instagram, they are using Python language. We didn't know that. Okay, and next thing is, if you search it in python.org, okay, the Python site application, what are the application we can use Python? Web, as I said earlier, web and internet development, and scientific and numeric applications. Okay, Pantas is a machine learning part comes under here, educational part, education side, and desktop GUIs. Okay, a Windows application, whatever we have installed in our application, right? Python we can say TK into some packages will be used. Okay, don't bother about it. It just gives idea about where are the places we can use Python. And software development in the sense, when you are developing some software, you have to build control and management and testing, so setting testing, like a Selenium testing tool is there, so we can use a Python script. So in business application like ERP, we can use all the places. Okay, so why is popular, why it is popular? Okay, we will see a few points. Because main thing, this is a open source. Okay, what are the features of Python? So features, what are the features? Main thing, this is a open source. Open source in the sense anyone can use and can contribute for the development. Okay, that's why many industries are taking care of their cost reduction and so many things there, right? They want to reduce their expenses, right? So because of every industries nowadays, what they are preferring is open source. Okay, so Python is a open source. That's why all the industries prefer Python. Okay. So many industries are using Python. Why? Main features of Python is it's a open source. That's why most of the industries prefer Python. Not most, every industries prefer Python. First point is open source. Open source. Next thing is interpreted. Python is interpreted. What is interpreted? Everyone knows about the language name, right? C or C++, Java. What they are, these languages? Okay, these languages, they are having some compiler, compile. First thing is compile that language. After that, compile in some DLL, something is form, machine readable form. Human cannot read, only the machine will read and compile that program. Okay, this is a compiler. Okay, is used to compile that language. But interpreted, Python interpreted will read line by line while executing the program. Okay, that is interpreted language. Okay, interpreted versus compiled. And next thing is cross platform. What is cross platform? Cross platform oriented, cross platform compatible. Cross-platform. If you write any program in Windows or Mac or Linux, it can run in any platform. If you write Windows, it will run on Mac. Okay, so cross-platform compatible. Next thing is object oriented. We will cover object. What is object oriented? So this is a programming. If you in IT languages, the programming languages. So most of the languages support object oriented. What is object oriented? There is a class object kind of mechanism. We will cover later. Okay. So if you in your schooling days, if you learn about the programming, any program, software program, definitely you should have gone through all the things. Okay. And main important thing is Python is very suitable for new learners. Easily can learn like a English language. Okay. Easily anyone can learn Python. Okay. That is the main thing. That's why everyone preferred to learn Python. And next thing is extensible. Extensible in the sense uh, there is a set of program. If anyone wants to write on over that, they can write and release some packages. Okay, so it's a basic program, and over that anyone can write and support the foundation. They can write release some packages. Okay, it's a extensible like that. So many packages are available in Python. This is the main thing for computing and numeric program, right? So many packages are available. That is the main features in Python. And interactive, the development in environment, right? So you are going to see how to write a program, how to install a tool. Everything is very interactive. So not like other programming languages. Interactive environment. And main thing is whenever we are writing program, we have to connect some database. So database connectivity also there. So these features are supporting Python. uh, Python to lead, okay, compared to some other languages. Okay, these features are very important. All the features are not available in some other languages. Only Python having, and not only this feature, so many features are there. Even though still Python has some disadvantages. What are the disadvantages? I will share this PDF with you, okay, in Instagram. So whatever I have explained, right, everything is available in this PDF, okay. And what are the we have seen a lot of advantages. What are the disadvantages? Okay, in few places difficult to communicate with other languages, and weak in mobile computing. And because it's an interpreter, right, line by line execution, sometimes not many places, in few places it gets slow in speed. Okay, a runtime error, because other languages, if you do C++, is when compiling the code we can understand the error. Okay, you can get you can see the error, but is runtime errors. Python can throw only runtime error. Okay, so database connectivity, because every day there is so many databases access layer is very limited. It's still an development stage. Okay, few disadvantage, but so compared to advantage, it's not a big deal for us. Okay, next thing is okay. So what are the many places, as I said earlier, right? We have seen in web application development, we have seen some various examples. What are the examples? These sites are used to Python. And machine learning. Have you noticed where Python used in machine learning, artificial intelligence? In simple, in this page itself, you can see the example. Google, whenever search anything in image search and voice search, anything if you are searching, right? In backend they are using machine learning algorithm. In that machine learning algorithm they are using Python. Okay, so it's a day to day we are using that application. Whatever we are using, the Instagram and Facebook, if you are using Facebook, right, Facebook friends tag, right, Facebook itself detect their name, how they are detecting. In Google, if you type any message, right, yeah, if you are replying any mail, automatically they pre-populate that text, right? How they are doing, everything is artificial intelligence, machine learning. All the things they are using in their backend Python programs. So Python programming is very simple. Anyone can learn, anyone can become a data scientist or machine learning. Only thing is willingness to learn. Okay, because compared to other software development, so web application development or any other program, any other roles, right, in software industry, they have to write more codes. But compared to machine learning or artificial intelligence, it's a very less code. Data scientist can, anyone can become a data, very less code they should learn. Okay, it's the main thing. Okay, what is the what development environment for Python? Okay, there are various environments are there. Okay, uh, Jupyter. Jupyter is a IDE, is a one of the best IDE. Okay, it's a very interactive one. And Spider, anyone, anything we can use. Spider or Eclipse or PyCharm, because it's an open source, right? So that's why so many IDs, interactive development environment. Okay, here we are using Jupyter Notebook. Okay, how to install Jupyter Notebook? We will see now. I'll share that document also with you. Okay, don't bother. Okay, for Jupyter Notebook, we can use Anaconda. Okay, because we don't need to install Python and Notebook separately. Simple tool. If you install this one, you can access all the things. Okay. Okay. Go to Google and search Anaconda download. Okay, note it down, or you can parallelly do in your machine. Okay, Anaconda download, Anaconda download. If you send the first result, it shows Anaconda individual. Okay, here. So install Anaconda. Okay, okay. Here, if it goes here, based on so always it comes with the latest Python version. Currently, it's a Python 3.0. It's fine for us. Okay. So based on your OS, you can select. Okay, it will be getting downloaded. After that, you can directly click on it. Okay, it's already installed in my machine. Okay, if you want to install Python alone, you can use a Python. But if you install Anaconda inbuilt, it will has a Python also. Okay. Okay, online, yeah, so many sites providing online tool. Okay, some learning sites, you can use that one, but better to install in your local machine. Okay, and Google Collab is there, NB Viewer is there, so you can use online also. Okay, Google Collab, search that. Okay, you can do it on online editor. Yeah, PyCharm you can use, but here for our learning purpose, we are using Jupyter Notebook because this one is very easy to handle, easy to learn. You can see line by line execution here. Okay, here after that you can proceed like this. Okay, step by step, like simple installation. Okay, here select two options. So environment variable, what is the environment? Whenever wherever you type that things, right, in command prompt, it will execute. Okay, add Anaconda to my path environment variable, default Python. Okay, so install. Okay, once you install, how to open that one? So it will come Anaconda navigator like this. You have to open. Okay, I hope you are clear on this. Go to Anaconda site, and there is an individual version. Okay, go there and download that exe and proceed to install that exe. That's it. Okay, very simple. I will share that installation PDF also with you at the end of the session. Okay, if you open Anaconda, it will take time because it has a more packages. That's why it takes time. Once you install, if you want to verify what version you are installing Python, you can see that in your command prompt. If you type Python 3.6, I have installed 2 years back. That's why it shows 3.65. Comes with Anaconda version. Okay, simple. If you install Anaconda, everything inbuilt, it has all the things. Okay, don't bother about Python. I hope you are clear on this. After opening that Anaconda Navigator, right? IDE, it will take time. The second, not responding. See here, it has so many IDs. Okay, in a single Anaconda framework, it has a mini development environment. Whatever you want, you can choose. Okay, Jupyter Lab is there, Notebook is there, interactive Python. Okay, shells and Spider, Visual Studio Code also there. Okay, if you are in R programming, you can use R Studio. So whatever you want, you can use. Okay, here what we are doing is we are going to use Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so just click launch. Okay, so every time you can't go here and because the Anaconda Navigator itself is taking time to load all the things. Instead of what you can do is like go to command prompt. Command prompt. Just type Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook. If you type, it will load. Your notebook will open like this. Okay. This is the Jupyter Notebook default environment. Okay, default environment. Here, if you want to open any new page, right? Okay, so you can open with new file here. Okay, first thing is okay. Before that, you should know. Okay, Python. Suppose if you see any HTML file, what is the extension file extension? HTML or HTML? Okay, like Python, it has a py extension. If you any file, suppose Python hello one file is there, Python file, it has a hello.py. This means Python. Then only .py extension Python interpreter will understand that py. Another file type, if you use Python Jupyter, right, it has IPYNB, interactive Python notebook, hello.ipy. Whatever you are writing in the Jupyter notebook, right, it always like IPYNB. Suppose if I create any Python here, Python file, you see here untitled.ipynb. If you see here, interactive Python notebook file. Okay, first start IPNV. Okay, if you want to because here itself you can write all the program. If you want to change it to .py file, means you can use download as python.py. Clear? Because why we are using in many companies, many developers using a notebook, why is very easy to handle, very easy to see the result line by line. Okay, that's why they are using. Okay, as a data scientist, machine learning is a very easy to use. Okay, it's a developer friendly. At the same time, if you want to use okay, instead of this, if you are ready to use some other like Spider or Jupyter Lab, VS Code, you can use anything. Okay, you can create directly .py file here. Okay, But in Python Jupyter Notebook, it always starts with IPYNB, Interactive Python Notebook. It should be like this. Okay. So you can write your program in this cell. Everything is a cell. Okay. Here you can create so many menus are there. Make a copy. You can save everything and edit. Other option. If you see kernel, this is the execution part. Kernel is like kind of engine, Python kernel. You can restart and reconnect, shutdown, whatever is. Okay. Okay, here I am going to write. If you want to add any cell here, you can add like this. Okay. If you want to save, if you want to remove or copy, move down, up. So you can, if you want to execute the code, you can use run or otherwise shift enter, shift enter. Okay. Here we are typing, so we are going to execute some hello world. Print hello world. After typing this, I want to execute because as I said earlier, right, we can execute line by line here. Okay. Shift enter. You will be getting exit. You can see the result next line itself. Okay. So like this. If you want to add any new line, you can add. Okay. If you want to stop kernel or restart, run all means all line will be executed. Clear output. You can clear output. The output, restart and clear all outputs. The outputs, whatever we are getting, right, it's getting clear. If you want to run all, you can run all. All line will be getting executed. Like this, you can today you try with this id, what are the options are there. Okay. How to use that option. Okay. Okay, you can generate report because the most the data machine learning, whatever they are, data science build some any model, right, they have to present some report in that coding, inside the coding they can create some content. Okay. For that, if this one is a code, whatever markdown, you can use a markdown. Okay. Markdown in the sense you can type some if you want to convey any messages, right. This text is getting displayed like this in this environment. Okay. So you can create a PDF for this, you can share it to your clients. Okay. Like this you can. So we have to use coding means this line, this is a coding. If you want to type anything, it's a markdown. Okay. So you can type any messages with the markup languages, like a text, whatever you want to convey, right, you can write like this. Okay. Till now, if you have any questions, whatever we have seen, right, if you have any questions on that, you can check, you can type. Can we proceed next? Okay, till now what we have seen, why Python is popular, what are the features of Python, and how to install Anaconda, the environment, right, development environment, how to install. Okay, today you just install in your machine and let me know if you have any issues. Okay. And so many help documents is available in the Google. Okay, you can search and install everything. Anyway, I will share that document. Okay, installation document. And next thing is we will enter into the program. Okay, first thing. Okay, so Python. Start with Python. Before that, I will show some machine learning model. Okay, because whatever we have learned, right, everything is implemented in our case studies. Okay. Okay, in mobile, this is the telecom churn. Okay, churn in the sense, if you are using Airtel or any other network, right? if you can switch over from one network to another network. Okay, because why I'm saying this is a business case study for this. Okay, everything is a Python program. All the things are Python program. These things are output for a result of the Python programming. This cells, right, whatever you are seeing cells, right, is a Python. It's a very simple one. Okay. Okay, what is this case study is, we are predict which customers leaving from that service in this month or next month. So they can predict. That is a machine learning purpose. We can predict what will happen next. Because of the prediction, they can take action, right? If anyone, if they know the list of customer who is going to leave next month, right, they can give some offer. They can connect them through mail or call center. They can connect them. They can check their what they need. Okay, based on that they can retain their customer. Okay, this is one of the case study, toys case studies. Okay, toys data set. So telecom churn case studies. Here, if you see, right, the Python single notebook, we can build a machine learning model. Only thing is we should learn what is the, and suppose this line what is doing. If you go through this 5 days session, right, you will understand what is this line. You can easily learn. Okay, just I am showing some case studies how we are using Python for building machine learning model. Okay, start with the Python. Already we have seen features of Python. First thing is keywords. Okay, in Python, all languages reserved words. Okay, some words reserved for that purpose. Okay, we can't use that words for our writing codes. Okay, here, if you see, Python also having around 33 keywords. Okay, keywords in the sense we can't use for our naming our anything. We can't use this for our put. Suppose if you define any variable, right? Distance is variable. Distance is a variable. You are assigning some values to that variable distance. Okay, so for that, so keywords, some reserved keywords. If you search what are the keywords are Python, you can use import keywords is the package. Okay, keyword package. If you import, you can see the list of keywords. Okay, these are the keywords available in Python. You can't use this keyword. Okay, here I am defining the distance variable. Okay, one variable name is a distance. Okay, this distance variable has a value 10. Okay, you can't use this. You can use distance. Okay, the distance is not part of this keyword, but here and is a keyword. You can't use this one. It shows error. Okay, keywords are reserved words in Python. Okay, in build in Python they are using these words. You can't use for your own purpose. And how to create the variable. Okay, variable underscore, you can name it like this, or one underscore variable. If you give always start with alphabetic alpha values. Okay, A to Z you can use. You can't use numbers in the beginning. Okay, it shows some error. Here def is equal to 1. Already def is a keyword. Here you can't use keyword, that's why it shows error. You can't use a special character in between the variable, it shows error. Okay, anyway I will share this PDF with you. Okay, you what you should you have to do is just type and do the same exercise in your Python Jupyter notebook. Okay, line by line do it the same and execute you, that then only you can learn. Okay, just if you see just seeing and leaving, it won't help you. Okay, you have to practice yourself. Okay, so here if you define any variable, okay, if you are giving any identifier, your name is some naming conversion, right? You start with some A to Z alpha values, and you can use in between, you can use underscore or numbers, but you can't start with the numbers any variable. If you define any variable, you can't start with number. At the same time, you can't use Keywords also, keywords already reserved keywords, so you can't use, and you can't use any special characters in between that. So there is if you create any identifiers, you should think about, you should take care of these things. Okay. Next thing is statement. Okay, statement in the sense, whatever the Python interpreter, right, execute, that is called statement. If you write any line, if Python, what is the purpose? What is the purpose of program? If you write a number of code, okay, at the end result is it will be getting executed by Python interpreter. Okay, these lines are statements. Okay, so you can put it in a single line statement. And your business logic simple. If you are adding two numbers, okay, 3 plus 2, this is one statement. Okay, you can write statement in one line or multiplying. If you want to write multiplying, you have to use this kind of slash. Okay, and if you define any variable, you can write it in a single line with a semicolon. Okay, so these lines, interpreter will be executing these lines. Okay. Okay. Suppose if you know C or C++ or Java, what they are doing, if you write any program, right, they are using, suppose if you write any program, they are using some curly braces. Inside this curly braces, they can write some program. Okay. But here there is no curly braces in Python. Instead of that, we are using indentation. What is indentation? Indentation is a, suppose there is, if you write any program, right, instead of curly braces, they are giving space before this line. Okay, here we are having a for loop. You will see what is a for loop, everything is, it will be covered in this program. But the part of for loop, we have to write some program inside the for loop. What in C++, what inside for loop, there is some for loop condition. We have, normally we are using curly braces for other languages, but instead of curly braces, we are giving some space here. That is called indentation. Okay, Python interpreter will read that space based on, if you have a space like this, right, all these lines are the statements as a part of for loop. But here if you see, right, the space little bit increased, this one is part of this code. Okay. Okay, if you practice yourself, if you feel it is difficult to understand, don't worry. If you practice, okay, how to practice, just type this line and it shows some error because it doesn't follow indentation. Okay, it shows expected intended. Python, the best things for in Python is, it the error is easily readable. You can understand what is the problem here in this line. Okay, so indentation is one of the main part in Python. Okay, you have to maintain indentation. So we are having various example for indentation. You can try with it. Okay, I will be sharing this PDF. Okay, so you have to type and understand what is it, what is happening in this line. Okay, if you have any queries, you can connect me. Okay, whether it is a small doubt or big doubt, doesn't matter. You can connect me. Okay. Next thing is, if you want to put some comments in the sense, the Python interpreter will not read that line. Okay. Suppose this is command. Okay. This one is statement. Python interpreter while executing, right? If you have any hash symbol, it won't read that line. Okay. This is for our developer purpose we are using. Okay. If you see this line, you can easily understand. Okay, based on the command, but the interpreter will not read. That is called command. Okay, interpreter ignores the command. Okay, so you can use a command, triple double quote. Okay, triple, you can use a multi-line command like this, single quote, you can use single quote. So you can put the commands in Python programming. Okay, next thing is doc string. What is doc string? These things is very new. I definitely new for you. Doc string. What is? Okay, if you write any program, keep it very simple. Any method, you are writing some sum. One method, you are writing some sum. Normally def sum. You are adding number one. number 2. You have you are writing Python function like this. Okay, uh, sum of return n1 plus n2, it return. Okay, here right, your program is like this. Okay, so you release some packages. Okay, packages in the sense, you release packages. If suppose we are using some packages, right? We can't see the entire code. Okay, we'll access that package. Only thing is, uh, I know some, but what is the sum? If you give definition, it will be very helpful for me. Okay, for that, if you write any program in the first line, if you specify, okay, the definition of function or method class, if you specify in the string, okay, right after the definition, this one is the definition. Right after the definition, if you specify anything about the function, anything about the class, anything about the definition, right, whatever you are putting, right, that is called doc string. You can access, suppose I am going to use your function, sorry, I am going to use your function sum. So here you specify the next line, you specify some definition about this function. Okay, I want to see the function means I can easily access sum dot double underscore doc, it will return. Here you see in this example, right, we have a double, some definition function. Okay, inside the double we are having a doc string. Okay, I'm going to use this function. I want to know what is the purpose of double. I want to read the definition means you can access the doc string. Okay, double underscore doc double underscore. Okay, so in this okay, we have seen some basic identifiers. What are the, how to define your identifiers? Identifiers should not be in a keyword list. Some naming convention, you should follow this one. Okay, next thing is statement. What are the statements? Single line, multi-line, and multi-statement in a single line. How to do all the things. And indentation, what is indentation? Giving space when you are writing a program or any part of code, right? Code looks neat and clean. Okay, if you give space, proper space. Okay, please practice this, all these things. Okay, and comments, how to put a comments, and what is a doc string. Okay, doc string is a simple thing. Take this example and understand, okay, what is getting written here. Okay, interpreter will not read this one. Okay, interpreter will not execute because this is a command interpreter, a Python interpreter will not execute commands. It ignores the command. But here you can access how it is possible. Double underscore doc string, it gives a definition, what is it. Okay, okay, next, if you have any doubt you can ask from this portion. Okay, good, thank you. Next thing is, what are the variables? Yeah, doc string, do you have any question? Doc string. Okay, yeah, okay. You are having any function, you are going to write any function or class or module, whatever it is. Okay, after definition, right, if you write that comment, right, it is the doc string. What it mainly says is what is the function of purpose of that function. You write any if you write anything, right, someone will access in future, right, they don't know what is the function because they can't see entire code because you release just packages. Okay, packages in the sense in okay, here you see we are using import keyword packages. Inside keyword we don't know what is it, right? If you access any function in the packages inside that function, you don't know what is the purpose. You can't access, you can't see the entire code, but you see the definition, what is the purpose of that function. Suppose inside keyword, if you have a double, one function is there, you can't see this that business logic inside the function. Only thing is you can uh, the purpose of function, you want to know purpose of, at the time you can use double underscore doc dou- double underscore doc double underscore. If you access this function name dot double underscore, you can see the definition. Okay, that is called doc string. Clear? I hope you are clear. Okay, you will see what is a def keyword. Def keyword is a function. Suppose in C sharp, everything you have to specify function or method like this, right? Uh, in other languages, you have to put function name, function double. Other languages, function double always comes like this. Okay, with the curly braces, function double. But here in definition, instead of function, we are using definition. Okay. So you will see when we are looking to the function module, right? You will understand. Okay, good. Okay, Python variables. Here Python is the main thing. If you give, there is a memory, right? All programming, if you assign anything, you store in the memory. Okay, you can give some name for that memory. If you assign a values 10 here, right? So you can name that memory address. Okay, name is here we are distance. This name is distance. So this is a variable name. We are assigning some value to this variable. Okay. Can I mute? Okay. Here, if you want to change that variable values is getting changed. Okay. 100. If you change anything, right? 110. The distance is getting assigned here. Okay. Like this. You can create any variable. Here, if you see some other languages, if you know some other languages, you have to specify the what type of variable. Suppose if a distance is integer, you have to specify. Suppose in C sharp, you have to specify. In Java, you have to specify integer distance, int distance is equal 100. Integer x is equal 100 or any value. You have to specify what type of integer. But in Python, you don't need to specify the type, because inbuilt based on the values, the type will be assigned itself. Okay. Here integer, 100 is an integer. So the distance type is integer. Okay. You will see later. Multiple, how now in this section we are seeing how we are assigning the variables, how we are creating the variables. Okay, you can suppose if you want to multiple values to multiple variables in single line, you can do all the things, multiple values and multiple variables. We are having a 3 variables, 3 values are getting assigned. Okay, and multiple variables at once. All these variables, it has a single values you can use like this. Here, one interesting part. Here, we have one variable x equal 3. What type of variable is the integer? Okay, because it has an integer. If you assign any string, okay, we'll see. Here, another 3. One memory has variable values of 3. You are assigning some variable name x. Okay, x is equal to 3. The same 3 assigned to y also. Okay, instead of creating normally what we think is 3 is assigned to y like this, but it doesn't happen here. Okay, it doesn't happen like this. Normally what happens is 3 is already available in memory, so the y share that same memory for x and y. Okay, got it clear? If you assign the same value to many variables, values are single, but and the storage location is getting shared between the variables. Here, how to verify this one? X is what is the storage location. If you want to access the storage location, you can use id of that variable. Id of that variable. If you use a print, you can see the variable address. Okay, this address is memory address is 17. Here the same values y is equal 3 is getting assigned. If you see, both the memory address are same. What happens here? 3 is getting stored in single place. It is getting access with X and Y. Okay, that is sharing memory. Through that, Python handling that memory management. Okay, if you create a one more memory is getting wasted, right? Instead of that, they Python itself using memory and garbage cleaning itself properly. Got it? And what are the different types? So we are assigning that variables. So we have to know, right, what type of variables. We are having mainly three different types of variable. One is a numbers inbuilt numbers, just numbers. Three type of numbers is there. One is numeric, one is a integer is a whole number. It doesn't have any digits. If you have a digit, that is called a float. Integer, float. In a complex number, some complex in physics and electronics, they are using that kind of complex number. It has a uh, some integer plus some characters. Okay, like this is a complex number. So, but in general, what we are using is mainly, okay, the special purpose only the complex number is getting used, but normally integer and floats. Okay, you know the difference between integer and floats, right? In the whole number, and it has some digit values. Okay, that is integer and floats. Okay, so if you assign, suppose here we are having a variable name a is equal to 10. Okay, so the a variable, what is type of variable? A is an integer because it has a 10. The same a as 2.5 is a float. Okay, how to see what type of, you can use type of a here. What is the distance? Or okay, wait, we will see weight 100. So what is the type weight? Weight is integer here. How to check the type? Type of WT. It will give integer. Okay. Here I am using print to type. Okay. It give the clear message. That's why I am using this one. You can use integer and complex number. Same like a Boolean type. Boolean type, it only accept true or false. Here what we are having, a is having a true. Okay. If you see type of a, it shows a Boolean type. String, the collection of characters, right? So if you have a variable, it has a string, okay? Python, a series of sequence of characters, letters, numbers, special character, anything. So you have to specify, and the string means you have to put it in a double quote, double quote, double quote, okay? If you assign like this is a string. So string, suppose here, Easy Learn Pro, easylearnpro.com, okay? It's a string. So index based is a zeroth index 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like this, it has an index. Okay. Each character has an index, start with 0. Okay. So you can access that values, what index. Okay. Yes is a variable name. S of 2 means 0, 1, 2. L will be getting printed. Okay. You can access string like this. Okay, you can access, you can slice, start from L to entire string will be getting slice in this. Okay, we will see all the things, don't bother about it. Okay, we have a most operation, a slicing operation in our continuous next upcoming modules. Okay, don't bother about it. Okay, but what you have understand here is, what you have to understand is, there are three different data types, basic data types: numbers, Boolean, and string. In numbers, there is a three: integer, float, and complex number. Okay. Okay. Whatever we have seen here, right, is a single values. Okay. But if you have a more than one values, you have to handle, because if you in data, if you handle more data, right, data, anything, if you handle, right, it doesn't have only single value, it has a collection of more than 100 values you have to handle. Okay, for that you have to use some collection data structure collection types. Okay, sequence of items, you have to handle sequence of items. Okay, as you have to use some collections, okay, collection variable. Suppose if you have a sequence of numbers, if you have a 10, some arrays, 12, like this. If you use only 10, you can use the integer directly. If you are having a more than one values, right, you can use some collection, okay, collection data structure. So first thing is a list, okay. So we upcoming modules we have a detailed session about a list, okay, what are the list operation, everything. But now understand what is list, okay. List is the order sequence of item. If you define list here, right, it has order. What is the order? Okay, it has a zeroth index, 1, 2, 3. It has some index value, okay, it has some index, okay. If you have a array, array means a collection of items, collection of item, you have a collection of integers here. It has some index value, zeroth index, first index to second, like this, okay. List, all the items should not be the same, okay. This one is a integer 10 comma some values here, like this, okay. You can use like this, integer, float, string, okay. Mixed type also, at least can have mixed type, okay. If you want to if you want to check a type, how to check type of list, always remember this one. If you want to check any variable type, what type of variable, you can use type function. This is a function, inbuilt Python has that function. Type of, if you pass parameters, this one, okay, what variable you want, if you pass a parameter, it will list type, return the what type of, okay. If you want to print a list, it will be getting printed like this, okay. So here we are having a list of items, okay. In this we are having see some operations, okay. Ordered means what is it? List is ordered. If you see the 4 points, right? List is ordered. Order means it has a zero to zero. Assign, it has some index values from start with zero. Start from 0, 0, 1, 2, like this. Okay, ordered. And next thing is main property is a mutable. Mutable meaning is the value of elements of list can be altered, changed. Suppose if you want to change a 10, if you want to change 12, you can change. This is a mutable in the sense you can change the value inside the list. Okay, here we are having a list of numbers. If you want to access, now it's a index based, you can access the numbers, okay. Here if you have a 2, this is a slicing bar, 0 to 3 will be getting printed. Here we are having 0, 15, 11, 16 getting printed. See here, you can see you can shift enter. If you execute the line, you will understand what is it, what happens here, okay. Go through this, okay. They are doing some slicing operation, okay. Like list, there is a one more data type, okay, that is called tuple. Tuple, okay. All these words are new for you, okay. Tuple, because I hope you didn't hear in somewhere, only Python has this kind of things, okay. Python has a tuple. Already we have seen list. What is a tuple? Tuple also is ordered. Okay. In list we have a square bracket. Okay. Inside the square bracket we have sequence of item. In tuple is a just parenthesis. Okay. Inside the parenthesis we are having some list of item with the comma separated values. Okay. This one also having the some index, start from 0 to, it has some index 0, 1, 2, like this, okay. 0, 1, 2, like this, it has some index. You can access this value based on the index. Here main differences between a list and tuple. List has a square bracket with the comma separated, is a parenthesis. Main differences, list is mutable in the sense you can change the values inside the list, but here by tuple is immutable, you can't change the values, okay. Suppose if you want to maintain in your program, right, in your business, you want to, you can't, you should not change the values, you can use tuple, okay. You should not change the value means if you can use tuple. Otherwise if you fear some places, if it is getting modified, right, you have to maintain the raw data without changing it, you can use tuple. Okay, it's because it's a immutable, you can't change. Here what we are doing is trying to change the one values. T of 0 means 0th index is 17. Here we are trying to change into 10, but it shows a tuple object does not support item assignment, clearly says message. Okay, then one more okay, we have for data collection we have a list, data type, and tuple, and set, and dictionary and strings also collection of character, right? So we have already we have strings, list, tuple. Next one is set. Everything is a comma separated. Okay, but here what we are using, braces, curly braces. Okay, curly braces with comma separated. But here is unordered. We have seen it, list and tuple is ordered, it has a index based 0, but here doesn't have any index. Unordered, that is called unordered collection of unique items. Okay, there we can use mixed item, but here is a unique item. And unordered, it should not allow any duplicate values. Set as main properties, it should not allow any duplicate values. Okay, here we will see. After executing this, we can see the type, everything is a basic. Okay, you and here what we are doing is we are using some duplicate values, 2 2 and 3 3 3. Okay, but after getting the print result, right, it shows only 1 2 3 because it won't allow duplicates. Okay, we are here, we what we are doing, a is equal to 1 2 3. Here we are using, trying to access one index. Okay, is it possible? Because it doesn't, is unordered, it doesn't have any index values, so it shows error. Got it? Okay, set object does not support indexing, clearly it shows error, right? Okay, next thing is dictionary, like sets, right? Set as curly braces with values 1 2 3 like this. But dictionary, curly braces, instead of single value, it has a key and value pair. It has some key value like a colon 1, b colon 2, or like this. Any anything key and values, it holds any value, any type. Okay, this is also unordered, but here everything we can access through key. Here what we are having, one dictionary, so unordered. Okay, if you want to use if you have a huge amount of data, you can use a dictionary. Okay, because the performance of dictionary is high, okay, compared to other data types. Okay, because internally it using hashing algorithm. Okay, dictionary internally, suppose simple example, you have around 100 numbers, 100 numbers, or 1000, 1 to 1000, in random order, you are having a random order. Okay, in list, you want to check whether around 360 is there or not. Okay, what normally you have to do is you have to iterate all the number equal to 360 like this, it will take time. Okay, but in dictionary what happens, it use hashing algorithm. When you store the dictionary, all the things, right, is passed through some algorithm, stores in a bucket. Some, it has some bucket values, some set of values is getting stored, bucket 2, some set of values is getting stored in this bucket through hashing algorithm. Okay, if you search 360 is there, right, in this 360 we have to check through dictionary whether this value is there or not. Okay, for that it goes to some hashing algorithm. Through hashing algorithm is identified which bucket it is. Okay, goes there, and only few values are there, right, easily iterate through all the values and easily find that whether it is there or not. Okay, so that's why performance is what, otherwise we have to go through each and every values. Okay, If you use a data collection, if you have 1,000 values, if you go through all the values, if you are checking all the values, whether it is a 360 or not, it will take time. If you use a dictionary, in build it use a hashing algorithm. Okay, that's why the performance is faster than other data collection objects. Okay, key and value pair. It's getting stored key and value. Okay, you can access based on the key only. You can't access you can't access via value. Okay, if you go through this example, you can see it shows some error. Why it's showing? You can check that why it's showing error. Okay, because we are trying to access dictionary through value. 2 is the value here, right? We are trying to access here. That's why it shows there. Okay, next part is, okay, I have one data type. I want to convert the data type to different data type. How to convert? I have a, okay, 9 is integer. I want to convert into float. You can directly use float of whatever you want to convert, right? Use that name of whatever you want to convert, right? Value, you have to pass it. The 9 integer is getting converted into float. Float means it has some digit 9.0. Here integer 11.3 is a float. 11.3 is a float value. We are trying to convert into integer. Integer is 11. So data type, you can directly convert data type. It's a very easy, because that's why I'm saying Python is a very easy to learn. Okay, compared to other languages, easily you can convert. But if you search it in some other cases, you have to use the convert type. In other languages, you have to use convert function, what method it is. You have to pass all the things in the parameters. But here, simple. Whatever you want to convert, just use and pass the values. That's it. Okay. So here we are having one string, one value is a p. Okay, what it shows? It shows error because it has a some string character. We are trying to convert, and that's why it shows error. Okay, sequence of it. How to convert one sequence to another? Similar way. Here we are square bracket with the comma separated word. What is it? It is list. We are converting into the set. Okay, set output is braces with comma separated. Got it? So we can convert a tuple, list, dictionary. Dictionary means you have a key value per. That's why you have to pass list of list. Okay. Go through all the things. Okay. So conversion we can do like this. Convert from one data type to another data type. Okay. Okay. Till now what we have seen is very simple. Okay. Identify as keywords just for recollect. Okay. Statements and indentation, comments, docstring. Okay. Everything is simple, right? And next variable, how to define the variables. Okay, in Python, see if you assign same values, how they are sharing their memory, what are the data types, and collection items. More than one values, how we are handling in Python. Okay, list, tuple, set, and dictionary, strings. How to convert data type from one type to another type, we have seen. Okay, all the things are basic things. Okay, without these we can't proceed. Okay, that's why. Okay, if you write any program, it has you should have input and output. Okay, input is nothing but if you get any values from user through keyboard or mouse, if you get any values, that is called input. If you output, you have to show the output. That is the output. Okay, you have to show the result to user. Okay, ultimate aim is we have to interact with the user. We have to get values from user. We have to, after processing the logic, we have to give output to the user. That is input and output. How we are doing in Python? There is an input function. Okay, if you if we pass any question inside the input function, it shows in the here we are asking, please enter your age. How we are handling here? We are having input function here. Okay, we are having input function here. So with the help of input function, we can get some values input from here. Okay. After that, after getting input, we can validate whatever we want. We can use because we are getting some input from user. So we can use input function. Okay. What is the type of input values? String, default is string, but here age is a integer. How to convert a string to integer? You can use int, right? Earlier we have seen, right, how to convert int. If you pass 10 values, it is getting converted into integer. Okay. Okay, here what we are doing, see the difference. What is the main difference between these two things? Can you type? These lines and these both are same. What is the main difference? Anyone can, guys, are you there? Both the lines looks like same, but there is some different. What is the main difference? Here in default, what we are here, we are taking whatever we are getting value from this user, right? Default is string, but here we are converting that string into integer of whatever we are getting value from user, right? All whatever getting, it's getting converted into in, integer, right? If I type 20, it is getting converted. Okay, here I will try to show some error because I am passing string, actual string, it cannot be converted into integer. That's why it shows error. Got it. Okay. So input, like input, there is output statement. We want to show the result, right? What output statement here is a print function. There is a print function. You can print to user whatever you want. Okay. So there is a different format you can use. Directly you can use a print like this, or any, if you want to use any separated between the print, if you want to use any separate, you can specify the separator value star. You can compare with the result. Okay. What on the first three lines, right? Three lines is the result getting printed here. You can see, okay, with separator at the end value. If you print anything at the end, you can use, okay, this kind of print statement. Okay, here is some format string. You have a, suppose if you want to type, you want to show the proper message, but in between you want to replace with dynamic values. Okay, here we are having a string. Okay, here we are having a string, but in this curly braces you have to give, after executing so many lines, right, you have to print that some values. Okay, for that you can use this kind of print. Okay, this is getting assigned the values. Okay, format x, x comma y. X is assigned to the first braces, y is assigned in the second braces, curly braces. Okay, so input and output statement you can use like this. Okay. What are the different type of operators? because whatever we are handling, if we are handling numbers or anything, right, we have to use different kind of operation through statement, whatever we are writing in the line of codes, right? So the business logic means why we learn maths, because in maths is has so many operations. Okay, everywhere we are using maths, right, in our life. Okay, like this in a statement, where whatever you are writing, right, you can use some operators for doing your business logic. Okay, some addition, subtraction, so basic thing. Okay, arithmetic operators. Okay, okay. So here, operator are special simple in Python. Okay, all languages having the operators. Okay, arithmetic or logical comparison. So you have to use operators. Okay, if you are adding two numbers, a plus b. Okay, is equal to result is assigned to c. This one is operators. Operators, right? The values are used in operators, right? A and b. A and b called operand. Okay. So this is operators. This is these values are operands. Okay. So first we will see there are different type of operators: arithmetic and comparison operators. Okay, logical operators, whether it is a true or false. Arithmetic operation like addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. Comparison operator, whether it is a greater than or lesser than some relational, whether it is great like that. Okay, Boolean, it will return true or false. Okay, bitwise operator, byte by byte we are checking. Assignment operators, special operators. So we will see all the things. Okay. So we will complete this one. Arithmetic operators. We are having a two. We can assign variable like this, right? If you see the variable chapter, you can see this one. Okay. We can assign the variables. What we are doing is just simply add subtraction, multiplication, and division, modulo division. You know, right? How to get a mod values and floor division. This gives uh, bottom values. Okay, and the exponent e to the power of. You can do all the things. Okay. So these kind of operators with two values 20 and 4, we are doing all this, we are applying all these operators here. Okay, you can go through line by line, you can practice yourself. Okay, line by line. Okay, simple. Okay, start with the simple things, don't complicate yourself. It's a very simple, keep it very simple. Okay, don't complicate it. Just addition, subtraction, keep it simple. Don't think about think more about what is it, how to use it. We will because we have a, lot of case studies in that we are using so many things. Okay, just learn whatever I am sharing here. Okay, just understand it. Now it's okay for you, this level is okay for you. Okay. And comparison operators, as I said earlier, right, greater than, if you want to compare between two operands. Okay, earlier what arithmetic, if you want to operands in this a comma b or x comma y, x y is the operand. If you want to compare, how to compare, greater than or lesser than or equal to or not equal to, greater than or equal to, like this we can compare. Okay, so we can compare what it returns. It returns whether it is a true or false. If it is a equal, right, for both values. Okay, if both values are equal, it returns true, otherwise false. Okay. Okay. So what is a logical operators? Logical operators. Okay. Logical operators are and, or, not. And means a, some conditions. Here one condition a, another condition b. Okay. Suppose he is a software engineer. Some statement condition. He is a software engineer and he is from Delhi. Okay. This one is both the things are true. If it is and means both the things are true, return true. And operator. If A variable is true, B is false, return. If you use A and B means return false, because if both the things are true, then only returns true. That is called AND operator. Here, he is software engineer. Is a true, but he is from Hyderabad. Is false. He returns false. Statement is return false in AND operator. Okay. Simple. But both the things are true, then only return true. Okay, and operator or operator. If either any one statement is true, it returns true. Or operator, not reverse. Okay, opposite, not B. B is false. Not B means print what? True. Okay, opposite. So logical operators. If you compare between both the two and or will helpful. Okay, for more than one condition if you want to check. Because here only we are seeing simple example, that's why it's difficult to understand. But if you see it business case studies, you can easily understand. Okay, bitwise. Okay, bitwise, byte by byte it is getting verified. Okay, first this values, right, A B having 10 and 4, it's getting arrays, byte array. Okay, with the byte array they are checking that condition. Okay, normally we are not using in our programming. Okay, only in the scientific calculation, in special cases they are using, but I don't getting confused with this. Simple. Okay, here we have 10. Okay, 10 in base of 2. How to convert 10 is 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0. Okay, here 2 power 0, this one is a 2 power 1, this one is 2 power 2, 2 power 3, like this it will be. Okay, this 10 values getting converted like this. How? Okay, 2 power 0, okay, is a 0. 2 power, it has a 1 value. 2 power 1 is 2. 2 power 2 is 0. 2 power 3, it has a 1. This one is 0. This one is 0. Total, if you calculate it, it becomes 10. Okay, so it's getting binary bytes. Okay, so operands, string of binary digit. Okay, so from there they are comparing. Instead of whole number, they are converting into binary digits. From there they are comparing. Okay, that's a bitwise operators. So normally we are not using this one instead, but keep it remember. Okay, there is a one more operator, bitwise operators. So right shift, left shift. Okay, if you want to know more, you can Google it. Okay, bitwise operator. But based on your need, you can learn more about it. Okay, not now. Just understand what is bitwise. Assignment operators is the main thing. Okay, in many places we are using this kind of assignment operators. What is assignment operators? Okay, normally we know, right, if you assign any values, excuse me, a is equal 10, we are assigning value. This is assignment operators. Okay, a is equal 10. Okay, 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 a plus 10. If you write any line, right, it's called compound operators. We have seen arithmetic operators, right? A is equal to 10. You can write with this assignment operator with compound operators, more than one operators combined together. A plus is equal to 10. That adds a variable and later assign the same to that variable. Keep it this line. Adds to the variables and later assign the same to that variable. It's equivalent to this. Okay. A plus equal to 10 equivalent to this one. add that variable and assign the same whole variable to the same. That is called assignment operators. For addition, subtraction, multiplication, we can use this. So you know the equivalent line, right? A minus 10. This subtraction is like this, A minus 10. Right? So we can use for all arithmetic operation this kind of assignment operators. Okay. Special operators. What is the special operators? Okay. We are checking whether any item, suppose we have a list, right? List, we have seen, right? Collection of items, 1 2 3 4, like this, right? We can check whether it is a there or not, is or is not. Identify whether it is a there or not, we can use is or is not operator. Okay, here you can check, we have a L1 L2, L1 is L2, or they are used to check if two values are variable or located on the same. Okay, this is one is a different. Is or is not is a checking two variables are same or not. They are checking ID. Okay, ID means if sharing the same memory means both the ID of, we have seen, right? ID of X, ID of Y, we have seen already, right? Both the things are same, is sharing the same memory. If it's a different, it's a different. We can check, instead of checking the memory, we can use simple operator. A is B means both are same because both are having sharing the same memory. Okay, but it's okay, fine for individual data type. But if we use collection data type, right, it won't work out because the collection is more than one items, right? They are not sharing the same memory. Keep it, remember this one. Okay, it's a very important point. Individual numbers or string character is fine for sharing the memory. Is both the ID, both the variables, if you values are same, both is same. A is B, return true. But here in list is false. Both the values are same, but object wise it's a different. Okay, sequence. Okay, list, tuple, set, you can't compare these things. And as membership operators, membership means we have a list. If you want to check whether it is a one item is there or not, you can use in or not in operator. You can check print one in list, one is there or not, you can use this one. It returns whether it's a true or false. So here we are having a list 1 2 3 4, we are checking one in list, we are checking in operator here. Okay, in operator 1 2 3 4, there is no 5, we are checking 5 is there or not. Okay, it return true, 1 is there, it return true, 5 is not there, that's why it return false. You can check like this in a dictionary outfit also. Okay. Okay, so tomorrow what we have seen is okay, you you are clear on this operators. Okay, we have a list, tuple, and set, dictionary, comprehension. In so many operations are there. Okay, inside the list, many operations. How to handle the list. Okay, in detail we are saying because these are the data types are very important data types to handle the data in coding. Okay, that's why we will see in detail what are the how to access everything. Okay, data structure and functions. Okay, then we will see how to how machine learning algorithm works, everything. Okay, do you have any question to know? Any question? Yeah.
Hey, one question
Yeah.
regarding is operator. So is will be based on the ID or is there any other parameter?
Okay, it's based on the ID.
Only based on the ID. If the ID is same,
Yes.
is will return true. If the ID is different, is will return false, right?
Yes, yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. But the ID will be same for the simple data type, but data collection it will not be same.
So even though there are two equal lists, for
Ah,
those two equal lists, ID will be different.
yeah, different. You can see here, right? I
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
ID. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Nice question.